For a while now I have been bringing you some weird, boring, interesting, obvious, hidden, correct, and in some cases even incorrect stuff about Warframe. Many of you have left nice comments about the game and the things you've found and experienced. This is your random Warframe stuff. You can buy and build the Neurode's blueprint from the market. If you put a veiled riven on a specific weapon like the Torrid and use a riven cipher to reveal it, you might get a riven for that specific weapon after a few tries. I've tested this and I can't say it works 100%, but after 5 ciphers I got a riven for the Torrid, so make of this what you will. I think this might also work without using ciphers, but this is just my feeling. I haven't really tested this. If you max out standing with the Entrati family after completing the Veilbreaker quest, there's a chance the blue girl won't talk to Call anymore. I personally think this is a bug and hopefully it will be fixed if it hasn't been already. Loot Radar detects and shows hidden caches. Excalibur has been used by the developers as a base to animate things like stances and finishers. Unlike most other warframes, you need 5 blueprints to build Octavia. The extra blueprint is for the Mandacord. Ember was supposed to be a male warframe. Lavos was the first warframe with no energy. He came out 3 years before Hildrin. This is absolutely correct. I somehow completely forgot about him. Venka Prime has a unique finisher animation when used against infested ancients. I am assuming this refers to the finisher from the back. After trying it out, I actually think that other weapons might also have different finishers depending on the enemy type. Firewalker and Toxic Flight are insanely good for doing damage while you are moving. The buff they give to parkour is also insane. Do the Eclipse Narta emote on an Archwing for maximum hilarity. I admit this is hilarious. If at least one squad member has max rank corrosive projection, you need 328% ability strength to remove 100% of enemy armor with pillage. Every warframe has a built-in enemy radar up to a certain distance, and the only reason the circuit has it is because it's telling you those are the last enemies. I completely agree with the first part, but the second part about the circuits showing the last enemies doesn't appear to be true. You can always see enemies on the map in the circuit. You can get the all mod from transmuting Requiem mods. There is also a chance you will get the all mod after you force your Kuva adversaries to flee to a Proxima Railjack mission. In general, Warframe is the successor to the game Dark Sector. Many ideas from that game made it into Warframe. This will probably become more obvious with Warframe 1999 coming out this winter. You can disable trade and region chats from the options menu. The best decision I ever made in the game. I will also add that, as far as I can tell, you can also disable every other chat except for clan and alliance. Going into spoiler mode and pausing/pressing escape is faster than pausing as a warframe. Ivara can also navigate certain abilities with her second ability. I have tried several abilities that can supposedly be navigated, like Shuriken, Tesla Nervous, Airburst and some others. Sadly, I am left to believe that this was changed. I haven't tested every ability, so some might work, but I could only take control of Ivara's arrows. You can customize your Warframe's colors and add accessories. There is one Parazon mod that can be ranked up. That mod is the flawed version of Intruder. The Syndicate people we interact with by far do not represent the entirety of their syndicate. Especially Red Veil and Arbiters of Hexes, who seem to only have representatives on relays and no character that serves as a leader like other syndicates. Resources likely stack to some type of integer limit, which is functionally infinite. Someone told me they bought primed Sure-Footed. This mod was actually tradable before some players decided to make extra accounts and farm this mod. I think that person was not lying. The first fact isn't true on Steel Path. It will always spawn the maximum number of enemies. I am glad that this person pointed out my mistake. I was wrong. The number of enemies that spawn on steel pad is not affected by squad size. The Kuva fortress causes Kuva floods on nearby planets. Affinity is shared between players in a certain radius. This makes certain missions like Hydron on Sedna slightly better for affinity farming than other options due to its smaller map size. The Vazarin Focus School has an ability which increases the default affinity share range. Using the invisible operator mode is super useful against Laser Eximus or Jade Eximus and Grind Moa in the index. Isn't Ascension game mode better for farming arcanes than Zariman Cascade mission, since there is a PT system for arcanes and after the mission you can get new arcanes from Ordis? I will admit that this person is onto something. I prefer playing Void Cascade because that way I can also open my Void relics. If you are looking just for Phosphor, then I would agree that running Ascension will yield more. Deimos tier 5 bounties give me around 4 to 6 Saya every 30 minutes. The Requiem obelisks are the best way to farm things like fish parts, gems and other loot on Deimos. Seti and Carmine weapon variants come from the Chinese version of Warframe. The developers didn't forget about them. Axani never got primed with Mirage Prime. The worst move DE has ever made. Your landing craft is part of the orbiter. The room with navigation and the market is the landing craft. Apparently, the lore reason for it being bigger on the inside is Void technology. Clave Prime is carrying me through some ridiculous SP content. Don't farm Argon crystals in steel pad. For some reason, the drop chance is way lower than in regular Void missions. Do not use the base sure-footed. It really isn't worth the mod slot. Albrecht Entrati is the father of the mother from Deimos, who was previously known as Euleria Entrati. She is the same one who narrates the Internalism lecture in the new War Zariman flashback. So he is the grandfather but not the husband of the grandmother, as she is the mother of the father. Fetch and Vacuum best mods. The free platinum you get on PS4/5 for having PS Plus is not tradable. When loading a Void Fisher on the railjack, an Oro Worm may appear next to the ship. If you have a Warframe with a Forma, you unlock the second color for energy. That works with almost everything like weapons and companions. You can change Incarnon evolutions from your arsenal. You don't have to go see Cavalero. On the Disruption missions, you can pick up and hold the conduit key for the next round and then immediately use it in the next round. This little trick can really save you some time. Also, some Warframe abilities, for example, Korra's second ability, will work on Demolishers. Paracesis can reach rank 40. Cambion Drift sometimes makes me dizzy. Going there gives me PTSD attacks. Deimos is such a nice train to play. After spending 2 hours in Cambion Drift, I can say it does give headaches. Cambion Drift gave me Stockholm Syndrome. The Halloween event has made me love it. Cambion Drift gave me a migraine. Cambion Drift made my head hurt and my back was hurting even though I corrected my posture. Spent 6 hours in one sitting in the drift. Not a single problem.
A legend.
It seems that the secret boss of this game is Cambion Drift. I took some creative freedom to rephrase some of these and do some small corrections. I hope you guys don't mind. There were more comments, which I appreciate a lot, and I will be making another video probably in a couple of weeks. To everyone who was in any way part of this journey, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this and let me know what do you think about this.